Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Hallmarkies podcast and Merry Christmas. We are very excited. Today, we have actor Alec Santos with us, and we're so excited to talk with you. Thanks so much for coming on the podcast.
No, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So, this is your first time on the podcast. We like to give you a chance to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit what inspired you to get into acting.
Sure. Oh, okay. My name's Alex Santos. Santos, it's a Brazilian last name. That's where I was born and raised. I've been acting since I was like 4 or 5 years old.
Uh-huh.
I always pined for the stage. My first role I ever had was I played an old man playing the accordion, and I had a little dog, and I did a lip sync of like a Brazilian country song, and from then on, I couldn't stop. I just love playing other people, being other people, getting to know them, and living their worlds and their lives, and that's what I enjoy doing. So,
So, you don't have much of an accent. So, were your parents American or how did
yeah,
that work?
my mom's Brazilian, my dad's Canadian.
Okay.
So my mom, incidentally, my mom's the one who taught me English. And
Oh, nice.
as part of acting from the very beginning, I was adamant that I didn't want to have an accent.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I managed to grow out with that one.
Yeah. So did you like go to theater school or how did you what was your path?
So I don't have a traditional path. I went to university and I have a biochemistry
Oh,
degree.
wow.
Yeah, sort of like the med school path, and then and which I also am a high school science teacher. But I joined a few acting studios in Vancouver. There's professional acting studios and programs that are a year long, sometimes 3, 6 months long, and I found out who the best coaches were, and I went to them. So, little by little, I acquired the skills necessary, and here we are.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. Do you remember your first role ever on camera?
My first paid role was a commercial with Jessica Alba, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a big one. And it was a Brazilian commercial shot in Toronto, and it was wild. I thought I'd made it, right? Because I was like, hey, Jessica Alba, but then it was years of struggle after that. But yeah, it was pretty nuts.
Were you so nervous?
I was I was very nervous, Jessica Alba was pretty big growing up, and her manager walked in before her and gave us the rules, but a couple of days in I was like, I eased right in, and I was like, this is where I belong, this is where I'm supposed to be. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Was it hard making transition from Brazil to Canada? I mean, even just the weather. Holy cow.
Yeah, yeah, well, I finished high school in Miami in Florida. So
Okay.
I had a bit of a transition, but you're right. I Googled warmest place in Canada, and Vancouver came up, and that's Canadian. That's why I went to Canada, to because I could pay Canadian university rates.
Right, right.
Ended up ended up in Canada. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be interesting. So, I so what do you think is the appeal, particularly sweet rom-coms, that we see? What do you think in your mind is the appeal of these romantic comedies?
Um, well, falling in love is the best feeling in the world, right? And getting to watch people go through that, there's a levity, there's a kindness to it.
Yeah.
It's an escape. We turn on these movies and we can forget about life for a while, and just think about love and think about that first time we fell in love, or if we have someone in our life, we can look at them and remember, what it was like to fall in love with them the first time. So
Hmm.
I think that's where it comes from. And there's
Yeah.
levity in comedy too, right? I know some romance is pretty dark, but you add the comedy aspect of it, it's all
Yeah.
amazing.
Well, that's why I would say like romantic comedies are inherently hopeful
Hmm.
because they end on a happily ever after. They end on by their very nature, they end on people getting together. And I just think sometimes we just all need that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you watch them? Yeah. Why do you like it?
I watch them, yeah, for the escapism, for the yeah, I think because they're hopeful and you want to believe that good things will happen to people and they are kind of comfort food watches, I think.
Hmm.
You know. Yeah,
Definitely. Yeah.
definitely.
Ho, ho, ho. We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies Patreon.
Do you love Hallmarkies podcast, especially at Christmas?
Do you enjoy the holiday previews, recaps, interviews, and bonus episodes?
If the answer is yes, please consider supporting the Hallmarkies Patreon. We need your help to do what we do both during the Christmas season and all year round.
But not only do you help a podcast led by strong, independent women by becoming a Patreon, you get to become a part of the Hallmarkies family.
Starting at only $2 a month as a patron, you will have access to our Facebook Patreon group where we talk about the movies, shows, and more all year.
We also have many monthly patron watch-alongs with guests like Lacey Chabert, Natalie Hall, Paul Campbell, Mary Lou Henner, and more, giving their behind-the-scenes details of their films.
As a patron, you also have the chance to provide input into the podcast and even join us at different tiers.
So this Christmas season, spread some cheer to the Hallmarkies Patreon and become a member today. You won't regret it.
Go to patreon.com/hallmarkies to learn more.
That's patreon.com/Hallmarkies.
Well, so how do you, in these movies, how do you develop chemistry with your co-leads when you get assigned to one of these?
It's hard, it can be hard because you meet them and then you shoot right away, right? Like
Uh-huh.
you meet them, you read the script, and then you go to camera the next day. So um there's lots of different ways. You can really get lost in somebody's eyes. You find out things about them that you have in common. For instance, the movie I'm working on right now, I can't say much about it, but we both love cats. And so that's our
Oh, there you go.
springboard, like it goes on from there. And then, they're so inherently beautiful and loving that eventually you start to get to know them really well. And you do kind of get to fall in love as your character and as their character. And it is difficult, but if you come in with your heart open and
Mm-hmm.
it can
Yeah.
happen. So.
Yeah. I mean, Confessions of a Christmas Letter, like this thing was like bonkers. Like
Yeah.
when you're like, I'm having a panic attack over the onesie, I laugh.
Yeah, that movie, we had a lot of takes where we had to stop because we were just laughing. There's a term called corpsing when you start laughing in the middle of a take.
Uh-huh.
Quite a bit. Angela is very, very funny. And yeah, it was amazing. Like our bellies got to work out every single day, just laughing nonstop. And Fred Ewanuk, who's a Canadian legend too in a show called Corner Gas, he's so funny. So nonstop laughter for sure.
Yeah, we just had Lillian on and she was so funny. I love her.
Yeah. Lillian is yeah.
Yeah.
She's just like that in real life. Her character and her are very similar. She's just this bubble of joy the whole time.
Yeah.
Because I was like the straight man in the comedy, right? I was like the
Yeah.
one that wasn't, but it was pretty wild. And yeah, it seems like the response, some people understood the satire, the zaniness of it, really enjoyed it. The people that were like, this is way too much for me. And I'm like, that's fine.
Yeah. What did you think about wearing that onesie?
Oh man, in the summer it was hot.
Yeah.
Especially the first one, like they gave me the small one. Like we had the wardrobe assistant. She was constantly fixing my wedgie. Like it was tough.
Yeah, I mean, I just the whole idea of this that people would be getting competitive over the Christmas letter, that was very funny. Like, ridiculous.
Wild, yeah, it's zany. It's like make-believe town for sure.
Yeah. But it does seem like that would be a fun shoot to be a part of.
Every day was a blessing. Yeah, it was.
Yeah. I mean, I was just joking on our recap that I'm like, it's like he's entered a cult. Like by the end, he's like worn down.
Yeah. Or like, what's it called?
Like,
The Stockholm syndrome. Yeah. That's the only thing left to do is to give in for sure. So who knows? I mean, if there's a sequel, would it be The Wedding? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like that. I watch that.
Fantastic.
It would be funny. Yeah. So let's talk about these unwrapping movies.
Hmm.
And so it must have been super fun to work with Natalie. She's great.
Oh yeah, what a star. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's so kind. And I just want to say right now too, she's got two little ones, so she would shoot 12, 13 hours a day and go straight home to her.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, she's a rock star.
Yeah, I mean they're very little and close together.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
that would be a lot. Yeah, and so and you had all of these other movies that you were basically sort of more cameos
Hmm.
in. But yeah, what was that whole shoot like for those movies?
So we got together. All four movies were shot consecutively. But then we had a whole week where we shot all of our scenes together. So I got to meet everyone,
Mm,
which is fun because you don't really get to meet, other male Hallmark leads,
yeah.
which was really cool. Like Jake Foy, I mean not Jake Foy, what's his name? My mind's a jumble right now with the lines that I memorized. But it
Yeah.
was just so cool. Like Nathan Witt, it was just so cool to
Yeah, I love
be in a
him.
room with all these wonderful actors. Like Cindy Busby, I can't, I'm
Oh
dying to do
yeah.
a movie with her. She's so funny.
Jake
Uh,
Epstein.
Nick Epstein, yeah.
Yeah.
My partner's a huge fan of his because he was in Suits. Um, so it was just really cool. It felt like a
Yeah.
little, yeah, like get together. Um, because we did like all like the ending of all those movies, we shot them all together at the same time because it was the same hotel. So it was pretty wild. Um,
Oh, that would be fun. Be part of like a group experience like that, like all kind of doing it together.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And then you play a dad in your movie. And
Hmm.
so that must have been fun to work with that
It was
young
it was
actor.
so wonderful. It Presley was is the actor's name, and she and I we got along like straight away. We were playing
Hmm.
Nintendo Switch between takes, and um, it makes me want to be a dad. Like it was really beautiful.
Hmm.
It was the first time I got to do that.
Yeah.
My two characters, my two movies are quite different, right? So this guy's a little bit older. He's more serious, and but everything I did in that movie, and I hope it rang true. Everything I did was for my daughter, right? Like everything. Um, she was the number one love of my life,
Yeah.
and so
Is it
yeah,
incredible to see like basically these like winter wonderlands, like especially in the middle of the summer, these Christmas sets?
it's always kind of weird, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. It takes you walk out and you're like, oh my God, right? It's Christmas. And yeah, like for confessions, they had truckloads of ice coming down and people just shoveling them. It's hard work. And then for the one in Ottawa, we shot the unwrapping in Ottawa. It was like this like foam that would disintegrate after 10 minutes.
Mm.
It is it's totally wild. And they'd have a snowblower behind us. And so snow would be falling in our face. If the snowblower was pointed wrong, which was in one of the takes, one of the actors got a face full of snow. So
Is
yeah,
it so is it soap? So you get a face full of soap?
yeah, exactly. No,
Yeah. Oh, that's not good.
no, no.
Yeah.
Especially if it goes in your.
Uh, do you have a favorite role of all the roles you played over the years?
My favorite role is my next role.
Ah, good
It
answer.
really is because they're all so different. I mean, I really did enjoy playing like a dad, and I liked, playing a Puerto Rican writer. I have Puerto Rican friends, and they taught me how to say a few words in Spanish with a Puerto Rican accent, and
Hmm.
um, yeah, I play. There's a cable show called Sight Unseen. I play a very crazy character in that one. It's so different. So yeah, no, honestly, I'm just excited about the next one. Right now, my favorite role is this one.
Oh, see, so you can tell you're a pro. That's a good answer. Yeah. What's it like being on a set of a show like Virgin River?
Mm. That show's dialed in. There's
Hmm.
they invited me for the cast read for the first episode
Oh.
of this new season, and some, and I would never say anything about it, but some sets aren't exactly loving. Virgin River is a very loving one.
Yeah.
It one actually really like I walked in there, and I played a pretty minor role in that show, but they welcomed me with open arms, and Martin is wonderful. Like the leads are just so kind, and so it's no wonder that show's a success,
Yeah.
um but yeah, it is very cool. Like we did the table read at the bar, Jack's bar.
Oh,
And
really?
that was a TV set. It was in a studio.
Uh-huh.
Um, yeah.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, I've heard nothing but like positive because a lot of Vancouver actors, Canadian actors, work on that show. So I've heard nothing but good things.
Yeah, my dear friend Kai plays like the son that comes back.
Hmm.
Forget his
Yeah,
his name, and he has nothing but nice things to say about being on
yeah,
that set.
yeah.
We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies merch store.
Are you looking for that perfect gift for the postable, hardy, or Hallmarky in your life?
What about getting that t-shirt or hoodie that will help you stand out at your next holiday party?
Now is the time to check out the Hallmarkies merch store.
Full of festive designs by artists like Jessica Miller, Carrie from Hallmark Comics, and more.
You can even have more than just shirts, but totes, cell phone cases, notebooks, mugs, and more.
And it isn't just Hallmark. We have designs for Anna Green Gables, Man from Snowy River, The Nanny, and more.
Every purchase at the merch store goes to help support the podcast and allows us to make the great content you know and love.
There are frequent sales, so go to tpublic.com/stores/hallmarkies or see the link in the description.
That's tpublic.com/stores/hallmarkies.
Especially if you have to do like a more emotional or intense scene. Like, how do you get yourself like motivated and get in the moment? Do you have
That's
any
that's a
process?
that's a great question. Yeah. So the TV show that I'm in, that I played a series regular, and I had a really, really intense scene where I mean, I don't want to give much away, but my character was going through it. And so
Mm-hmm.
um and I'm basically bawling in one of the scenes. And so what I did was, music helps a lot, like really you pick the saddest songs you can think of, and you go deep, deep into your soul, and into the painful parts of yourself, and you open those wounds so
Yeah.
camera can see it.
Oh, so that'd be
Especially,
hard though.
it's hard to come out of it, it is, because it's those are parts of ourselves that we want to remain hidden.
Yeah.
But the camera, unlike, so theater, you can kind of get away with tricks, but the camera sees everything. You can't lie to the camera.
Yeah.
So most actors, when they're crying, when they're feeling those things, they are feeling those things. You know,
Yeah.
it may not be for the exact reason that they're saying they're feeling those things, but they've dug deep down. They've picked
Yeah.
those skeletons apart, and there's yeah, it's real.
I guess it's got to help to do like a variety, so at least like, okay, you do the super intense role, but then you can have a break for a Hallmark movie.
Yeah, the rom-coms are just sweet. It's just every
Yeah,
day is a fun day. You get to fall in love, and
right. Yeah.
every lead actress I've worked with so far, they're all so lovely. So
Hmm. Yeah. Well, very good. We've enjoyed your role so far. We're looking forward to what you got coming up. It looks like it's going to be pretty interesting. If
it's
people are listening, if you watch the YouTube, you can see it looks pretty festive behind you there.
it's a nice hotel. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
tell exactly where I'm at, but look, there's a mountain there.
Oh, yeah.
Sunny, it's summer, so where am I? Where in the world am I? I don't know. You'll find
Very
out. I
good.
think it's going to come out in March. So
Nice.
mhm.
Nice. Well, we like to end our interviews with some fun, get to know you holiday questions.
Good.
So here we go. First question. What is your favorite holiday drink?
Ooh, favorite holiday drink. Um, Probably, yeah, I don't mind an eggnog here and there.
Okay. Good.
It's
Good.
definitely alcoholic, the drink of choice for sure.
Okay,
You know.
good. All right. What's your favorite holiday cookie or treat?
My mother-in-law, she makes a cookie called a thumbprint.
Oh,
It is delicious.
that'd be
And,
good.
I know. I hope she would make it uh, other times of the year as well, other than Christmas, because it is
Yeah.
good.
You can have those all year. There's no reason.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, what is your favorite Christmas song or carol?
Last Christmas gave you my heart. Wham.
Oh, all
Yeah.
right, good. Little Wham. Very good. What's your favorite classic Christmas movie?
Favorite classic Christmas movie. And I'm not going to say Die Hard.
You can say Die Hard. Die Hard is absolutely a Christmas movie.
I was talking to my co-star in this movie because there's this
Yeah.
really beautiful scene where we're watching an old movie um, across this beautifully lit pool, and Jimmy Stewart was in it, and I was like, "What's a Wonderful Life?" I really that movie
Yeah.
all the time.
It is. It's one of the finest films ever made, not just Christmas films.
It really is. Yeah. Yeah. What
Mhm.
a No, I know. I'm getting emotional just thinking about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jimmy Stewart, he's so
Woo!
iconic. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Which do you like better, Scrooge or the Grinch?
Scrooge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Scrooge. Bill Murray, baby.
Okay, good. Okay. Which do you like better, clear lights or colored?
Ooh. Ooh. Colored.
Colored. Okay, good. Okay. Which would you prefer, be in a snowball fight or build a snowman?
Bill the Snowman.
Okay, good.
Mhm.
All right. Would you consider yourself a good gift wrapper or not?
Absolutely not. No.
Uh-oh.
No.
Yeah. So you
Yeah,
needed to take
I'll get the
lessons
bag. Yeah.
from your unwrapping things
Yeah.
that you would
Yeah.
not do
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. Exactly. I know. I know. My dad's a really good rapper, though.
Oh yeah.
He's very skillful in that sense.
Yeah, yeah. Cool. All right, last question. Do you have an ugly Christmas sweater?
I do. It's got a cat on it.
Oh,
And I
nice.
love
Yeah,
cats. Mhm.
that's good. All right, you did it. You answered all the questions.
Yay!
Yay. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us. We really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I love making these movies,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
if I can put a smile on someone's face.
absolutely. Well, if people want to follow you on like social media or anything like that, do you have anything like that you want to share?
Yeah. I'm on Instagram, Alec Santos or Alec Santos on Instagram. Shoot me a message. I usually answer. So
Great. Well, very good. And yeah, let us know if you're listening what you think of all the things we talked about. We sure appreciate it. And it's so great to meet you. Thanks so much.
likewise, have a wonderful Christmas.
You too. So let me know what you think of all the different things that we talked about in the comment section or on Twitter. And you can find me at Rachel's Reviews, all over social media, iTunes, YouTube, and on Rotten Tomatoes. So check that out. Also make sure that you're following the podcast, Hallmarkies Pod, Hallmarkies Podcast, all over social media. And if you are listening on iTunes, please leave your ratings and reviews. We really, really appreciate that so much. And if you are watching on YouTube, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. We appreciate that so much. We also have our Patreon group and merch store. Please take a look at that. And thanks so much. And we'll talk to you later. Bye.